won't be capturing the VOD, but oh well. Alright, so we're gonna watch this this wave from Genji's group. This will show you how you approach rush on Bonerattle. Typically you'll be standing in front of actually let me show you with this real quick. Bonerattle. Nah, that doesn't matter right here, but I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor. I would imagine you can. And right here where I'm circling is where you'll typically lure the rush and grillers. So let's pretend this pink inkling is the aggro player. And we'll use Rush Chum. Rush Chum will come from 3 directions here. Come from low tide. This is low tide over here. And over here, well, I call it kiwi, but you can also call it like backside of basket. Bonerattle callouts are super weird. You just have to use whatever you and your group are comfortable with. Over here, it's like pineapple, for example, or left. This one's just low tide. And over here is kiwi or back. I think you can also call low tide right, but it's up to personal preferences. But yeah, when you have aggro, you're going to be standing typically right here in front of basket where there's this ink rail here in red. Also, let me just confirm you guys can see that. All right, nice. And yeah, you'll most likely be on the ink rail for safety reasons because the rush can be very overwhelming. For grillers, I don't think you should be on the rails that much, but it's an option, of course, if your weapon's not that good. But we'll go over grillers after. We'll go after grillers later. But now it's rush. Typically, yeah, the aggro player will be here, most likely on the ink rail. I would recommend dropping bombs when you're aggroed and on the ink rail, because that way you're doing something. Because if you're just on the ink rail doing nothing, you're not really contributing other than just, you know, stalling the rush. You can drop a bomb and it'll help deal damage to the goalie. And maybe even clear some of the rush chum. So something to keep in mind. But yes, this general area is where you're going to be in rush. I've thought about, you know, staying in different spots depending on the snatchers. But to be honest, I don't think it's worth it because this place is super safe. Because it's the rush chum will come here really quickly. And if you were to stand on other spots, like say over here, I think it would work here and maybe here, but then over here it's gonna be slow. And over here is super risky because there's like very little room to be safe and be thrown into a basket. Let me see. Let me translate to English to find the option for snatchers. Yeah, that's the snatcher spot. So these are the snatcher spots. Let me signal this with the snatcher icon. So that's why we typically stay here, because at least at this spot, snatchers can help get the egg and fly out over basket. Of course, that would require some good discipline in like not killing the snatcher early over here, and then being aware when it's flying over basket and shooting it down. But yeah, that's the basics of my thoughts on rush on Bonerattle. What if we want to move to another spot to let teammates get eggs? Oh yeah, you definitely can. If eggs start piling up, let's say like eggs are piling up and you have aggro, I recommend using this ink rail line right here because it's also close and it provides enough space for your teammates to try to get eggs in the meantime. This is also useful for grillers. If you're gonna stall because eggs are piling up, definitely use this ink rail right here on the left side. I'll also point it out in game because I know that on the map it's, you know, it's gonna be harder to understand kind of just have to be familiar with the map layout. So in game, I'll show off where to stand basically. But this is the main ink rail, and this one's your backup for stalling on the left side. All right, let me double check. Okay. All right, so let's check out this rush wave from Gunju's group that happened recently. Let me turn down the volume a bit. Snatchers are coming from the backside. They're trying to filter. Now it changed spawn directions. The timer seems to be every 9 seconds, I think. And there you go. He's dropping bombs, as you can see. Helps clear lessers and helps cause damage to goldies. Snatcher's moving, but I don't think they're gonna get it. Okay, no, someone got it. Oh nope, never mind. The bamboo didn't get it. But that you got the idea there. Yeah, the rush is just super scary on this map. This comp they're using here is not that great at filtering. Guys, let me pause over here real quick. But yeah, this ink rail over here, where you can see where the special icon is, that's the ink rail you can use to as an alternative to stall them while your teammates focus on egg running. This one on the left, I don't think is that good because it's just so close where eggs will be piled up. I don't think it would be worth it. But yeah, that's an example of how you play rush on this map. Hey Stick, yeah, thanks. What do you guys think? You guys have any questions, or you guys want to jump right into it? Let me also check my notes and see if there's anything to say. My notes are basically the same as the last time we did rush. But yeah, specials you want to use to kill chums. Wave Breaker is really good. That'll help clear chums, which speeds up the rush, which means you get like more goldies. So it's always good to use Wave Breaker during rush waves. Reef Slider is also really good. It'll clear up an area, so you get the idea there. The same with Splashdown. Jet and Booyah are good for stalling and also for helping filter farther away from where you're standing. And Booyah, again, more like Reef Slider and Splashdown, but if you use it near a ledge, you can stall the rush. As I see you guys typing, I will get into the pool. I'll type in chat the pool, but it's OFS. Pool OFS, in case it's needed. I'll set up the room soon, after I see what you guys have to say here with the typing. Oh yeah, I should probably touch on this real quick. There's this website. I will link it in chat. This is the website I'm showing off screen, on screen that is. I'll just translate it to make it just a little easier. But this is a timer that you can use to set up and use it as a guide for rush. This will tell you when spawn directions and aggro occur, because spawn direction and aggro changes at the same time during rush. So when you see the glowflies change to another player, the rush and goldies will come from a different spawn point. And it's pretty simple. You just figure out what wave 1 quota you used. Well, there's also wave 2 and 3. So for us, it's probably going to be around here, if not maybe here. Because I did try to get lower hazard games. And then you'll just press start once it tells you to. I think it's when it's at certain time. Tap start at the specific moment. The timing is the moment when the helicopter entrance completely frames out of the screen. Okay, so when you use this website, you'll hit start once you see that the map is in full view, no longer the helicopter. And then it'll begin a countdown, and then yeah, it'll say it'll say stuff. It's counting down in Japanese, by the way. And then this is the wave, and then it'll ping around, I don't know, I think 88, because I think this is like 12 or 14 seconds. There we go. It's warning you, and there's the beam to tell you aggro's changing. So it's a cool tool to use. I recommend using it if you're not familiar with rush timing. Which, speaking of, I should share that in chat. I shared this last time, but this is the chart that shows you the timings to each hazard level. More advanced, you can use this for day waves too, to know when the spawn directions change. But for rush, all you need to know is what hazard you're playing in, and we can also use the quota as a signal. And I'll tell you the time intervals. For most players, if you're in executive, you'll most likely just deal with 10 seconds and above. So every 10 seconds, glowflies changes from player to player, the aggro. So 90, 80, 70, 59, and so on, because it's 0.3, it's not a perfect 10. At the same time, this will also mean that the rush will change spawn point. So maybe they'll come from the left, and then they'll go to the right with the glowflies change, and so on. So that's something that can help you. Obviously, it can be overwhelming, but these are tools you can use to make rush a little easier, because you're gonna want to be filtering, aka killing, the chums. So you need to know when the rush will probably come to you. So you can use this to move to safety, and then once you find out if the aggro changes to you or not, you can go back to where you were, or you stay behind until the glowflies change to another player. Alright, let's see. I see. I thought we got the glowflies closest to the basket, like other maps. Not like waiting for it to come on top instead of bottom. No, it's just too slow. Sabrina, let me show this off. Let me put that there. Yeah, it's just too slow, because you're gonna be up here. Let's say the rush comes from the closest, which would be, I think, here. It would have to move like this, and then zigzag all the way down. That roughly will take maybe like 10 seconds, I would say. And it's going to be worse for other spots. Like, for example, like this movement. And then the eggs can still drop down anyway, so it's definitely too slow, and you're not gonna get a good score. That's why we play down here, because it's much quicker. There's ways to be safe by using the ink rails, and you'll be able to produce more eggs. Of course, the problem will be working together and trying, to find the times to not only kill the goldies and the rush chum, but to find moments to throw these eggs into basket. And the same deal with grillers, by the way. It'll be super slow to bring them grillers up. If we have, I think we'll have time, but I'm going to try to show you what you should be doing with high-tide grillers. That's going to be in the upcoming Bonerattle. Well, I guess I probably should have asked if anyone's okay with spoilers about what the wave types are. My bad. But if you guys are okay with that, with knowing spoilers about what the wave types are, we can look into that later. But yeah, that's the gist of Rush. What should any specials be used? Yes, you can definitely use specials. It depends on map, of course. Last time, for example, we did Junction, and Crab is really good there. On this map, Wave Breaker is pretty nice. Reef Slider, Splashdown, Inkjet, Booyah Bomb, those are all really good. On a lesser tier, I would put Ink Strike. I think Ink Strike is more useful for other waves. Other wave types. What else? Killer Whale. Killer Whale can be okay, but keep in mind it'll kill Goldies instead. So you should use that if you feel Goldies aren't dying that well. What other special am I forgetting? I guess I can just look at the website, right? Yeah. Kraken's also really busted. Use this when you have aggro. Of course, you have to be careful because the startup lag of Kraken, you can if you use it when you're in danger already, you're likely gonna die. So you gotta be careful about that. Use this when you immediately see that you have glowflies and you are in just a little bit of distance from Rush and Goldies, so that they don't automatically kill you and waste your Kraken. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess we can jump into Rush and try it out ourselves. And if we have trouble understanding, we can watch a few more VODs, a few more attempts at the wave from other players to see how they do it. So let me quickly change the streaming to my OBS capture card. See, how do I... Oh yeah, I make a window. Yeah. Forgot how to do this in a moment. Where is it? Oh shit, I did not turn off the the timer, Gunji timer. Okay, there we go. New window, there we go. Go to Discord and show my point of view. There we go. Now my gameplay's on for peeps that are not in the lobby, the session. Alright, so the lobby will be up for Sabrina, Huin, and Shrimp. And we can jump right into a attempt. I tried my best to find a very low hazard Griller and Rush seed because in extra work, for example, typically they put the harder waves, Griller and Rush, in wave 2, and that's at max like 120%. So very slow, right? But it's hard to find any seeds of that. So this will be 240%, which is what typically wave 4 extra work is. You won't be getting, well, spoilers, grillers, high-tide grillers on Bonerattle. That won't be wave 2 with, it won't be wave 4 is what I mean. So it's gonna be 120%. So hopefully this hazard's fine. See, I think this is the first seed I wanted to try. Yes. Okay, so we have Sploosh, we have Dreadwinger, we have Clash Blaster, and Wellstringer. Sploosh is not amazing. in Rush because it doesn't it doesn't kill that many chum basically. So it's more of a Goldie killer in my opinion. But there is one busted weapon here that will make Rush much more tolerable, much more easier, and that's Clash Blaster. Clash Blaster is just really good at filtering chum, so whoever gets Clash Blaster, you want to focus on killing the Rush chum. And Dreadringer, I would consider also a backup for filtering. Wellstringer, it's not good for it's not that great for clearing Rush chum, but it'll do its job for Goldies as well. So the two main filters here will be Clash Blast and Dreadringer. Sploosh can probably focus on any lingering ones. And the same with Wellstringer. So let's give this a shot. Alright, so here at the beginning, we're gonna jump down below between left and low tide. I recommend painting the walls still, even if it's just a good habit to build on Bonerattle overall. Okay, I have Killer Whale. So this is where we stand. Okay. They come from Kiwi. Okay, be careful. Let's see, what is it? 10? It should be 10 seconds, right? Yeah, 10 seconds. Nope, accidentally pressed the Y button. And we'll get the snatchers. I'm gonna use Killer Whale here. There's a little trick that I did there, but no, never mind. Someone picked up the egg. But there's an advanced trick you can do with eggs here. Okay, there we go. There's that snatcher. Do not kill that snatcher. Whatever you do, do not kill that snatcher. Okay, now, yeah, that was good. You see how those eggs came up? That's an advanced strat you can pull off. And I say advanced because it's rare for that to happen. Alright, that was pretty solid. You guys let me know how you feel about that rush attempt. For now, let's go in the water. Yeah, not too shabby for the first attempt on Rush. Let's see, can I change my weapon? Oh, I can't. God dang it. I wanted to show off what you can do with Clash Blaster. Alright. Trying to wait and see what the group says. But one thing I want to touch about this comp, for example, for blasters, mostly just Clash Blaster and Crisco Blaster. To save on ink while still being efficient, all you have to do is just tap. I don't have Clash Blaster to show it off, but that's one way to still do what you're doing, but just save a lot on ink with Clash Blaster. With these waves, I wonder how to balance fighting versus egg delivery, especially from filter weapon versus not filter perfecting. Like the Clash should eggs only be done when I'm out of ink, or Dread is actively filtering something else? In my opinion, I think the filter weapon, specifically Bonerattle speaking, probably will rarely egg, because you need all that ink to focus on filtering. If this was any other map where, you know, you don't have to do much egg throwing during rush, then you can definitely do a bit more egging while filtering. But because this is Bonerattle, and Bonerattle's a egg throwing heavy map, I would recommend that you probably don't do much egg throwing if you're the filter weapon. In this case, Clash Blaster. Because yeah, I think it's more useful to be clearing Rush Chum. That way it can speed up more Goldie spawns. I think Dreadringer has better ink efficiency to pull it off, to be helping filter and egg throwing. But you know, it's a secondary filter. Clash Blaster is more of the main filter in this comp. But yeah, those are my thoughts there. But yeah, if this was any other map, you can definitely just run some eggs without egg throwing, and then it'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, Bonerattle's just different. You have to you're gonna do more egg throwing, so you can't really afford to do egg throwing as the main filter weapon. The same applies to rollers, I think, on Bonerattle specifically. Reflux, well, we should be able to touch on extra work later, but I need to see the comp again real quick, I guess. Reflux, Stamper, and that's all I remember. Wellstring. Definitely. Well, wait, never mind. Extra work doesn't even have rush. Probably filter, but it depends on the comp, because Reflux was just a mid weapon for rush. I think I have a Reflux comp here for rush. Let me see. See, is that one? Because let's see. No, that's Griller. No, I don't have a Reflux comp for rush. That one's Griller. But let's just pretend this is a rush seed, I guess. With that, with a comp like that, yeah, I would say it probably can be filtering. But this comp overall is very weak to rush, because it's like no AoE other than Sloshing Machine, but it's a very niche AoE weapon. So Reflux will probably be focusing on clearing Chum, but it's not going to be as good as something like Pentabrulla here, or Dreadringer and Clash Blaster, or Octobrush, or Blingza, or Luna. It's just a mid weapon, but it depends on the comp, for sure. For this comp, I would say, yeah, it'll be probably the main filter, but that's because Tentabrulla has to focus on unleashing the Brella Shield as often as it can. Stamper's not that good at rush. Ballpoint is basically sploosh if you have it in short burst mode. I forgot. I thought I had rush, but did I have girlies? Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, we set this up without knowing what the wave types were, so this will still serve as a good training for whenever you get normal tide rush in your games. We can try one more attempt, and then I'd say let's watch one more try from Gunji's VOD afterwards. And then we can try one more attempt again, and if you guys are good, then we can move on to grillers. I do have one more rush seed Because again, there's like not that many seeds that are low hazards. So we'll try the other rush seed afterwards. Alright, so whoever has Clash Blaster, can you come to me real quick? Okay, so just tap shoot. Just tap shoot. Try just tap shooting. Yeah. And you'll save a lot on ink while still being able to kill a lot of the rush chum. Okay, yeah, 90 seconds is when the aggro change. Also try to call out when the aggro changes. 3, 2, 1 now. Three, two, one, now. Three, two, one, now. Okay, it's at 59 now, so 49 next. 3, 2, 1, now. Three, two, one, now. I'm gonna use a killer whale now to help with some damage. Three, two, one, now. Get me up there. 10 seconds. Aggro change at 8 or 7. Come on. There we go. 42. That's still being consistent. I did not get aggro at all. Alright, let's go in the water. I think we got the gist of it. It's just, you know, probably just trying to figure out to be quicker with egg running and filtering. Finding that right balance of doing those two things while still being quick. Alright, I'll see what you guys have to say, and then I will put up Bungie again. Alright, in the meantime, I'll switch over to the VOD. Let me see what my notes again. Where do I go to? Okay, minute, hour 2 and 4. Okay, hour 2 and 4. It's roughly there. Okay, switching over to the Gunji VOD. I'm curious if Spoosh could just focus a lot more on egging than not when not aggroed, maybe, since the range is so short. I'd say so. I think it can recover ink quickly. You just want to, well, in this comp specifically, you want to focus on killing goldies. So if you're able to get in, throw an egg into the basket and then immediately kill a goldie, then that'd be good. Alright, now let's watch an attempt from Gunji, but this is a different one. This time he has a weapon that's much weaker in Rush with bamboo. The timer here is still not, no, it's 8 seconds. This 30's HLM, I think. There's the wave breaker, because that's helping clear lessers, and it'll damage the goldies, and eventually you'll be able to kill them with your weapon, or the wave breaker can probably finish them off. Remember that egg throwing can also be helpful too. Especially when with Wave Breaker out, that'll help he'll stuff Rush Charm Goldies while still delivering an egg basket. If you really want a higher score, yeah, it does help to go crazy with your specials and use them to help with the rush wave. But of course, you want to know why you're using it. Here, Gunji used both his jets while he was aggroed. That helped him control the flow of the rush while still being able to filter. That's a really good 59. I think the record on this map for normal weapons is like mid to high 60s. So yeah, you can rush on this map is just, everyone hates it, but I think it can be fun to play. All right, if there's any questions, you can let me know now, or if not, then we can jump right into the next rush seed, the next rush attempt. All right, let's jump into the next attempt. I think that's the window. Okay. The only other rush seed I have is this one, I think. No, it's Aerospray. Okay, so here we have Aerospray, Octobrush, Stamper, Heavy, Splat. I think this comp is much trickier than the last one because your only AoE weapon here, well, you have two, but only one is really good for Rush, and that's Octobrush. And even then, Octobrush has pretty mediocre ink efficiency, so you're gonna run out of ink pretty quickly, so you're gonna want to pay attention to your ink tank. Aerospray is also not the best shooter to help clear chums, but I think you're gonna have to focus on that to help with the comp. Stamper, you're always gonna be using just the normal slashes. You're not doing the charge slashes because it's just too slow. You need to be really quick in a wave such as Rush. So you're just gonna be doing the regular slashes, the horizontal ones. And then Heavy Splatling. I mean, I would recommend trying to find your best windows to charge up so you can help with the rush. But otherwise, your goals are really to maybe kill goldies, throw bombs while you get eggs, and do egg throwing. So yeah, Heavy Splatling is very versatile, I guess, with its role. Because because you know, charging up is really slow for Rush. You have to be very careful. So you're probably just gonna be throwing bombs to help support your team, while also finding windows to deliver eggs. But let's give this a try. It's definitely a much trickier comp. What's the hazard for this? It's roughly the same as the previous comp we did. Okay, I have Heavy Splat. Probably the best case scenario. I have Ink Strikes, which is not amazing, but they can definitely be used. Aggro change. Oh man, that's super risky. Aggro change coming up. Eggs are piling up, so we need to try to deliver some more eggs. And the goalies did, or the snatchers did come from the same spot as before. Aggro change coming up. Aggro change in 3, 2, 1. Aggro change. Alright. Now definitely much harder than the last comp. Let's go in the water. With this comp, let's see if we can push to 45. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes in this because this is scenario, so feel free to experiment in any way you want. Like, I don't know what specials you guys have, so it might be good to know and you can probably use them. Because yeah, I'm only aware of my ink strikes. I don't remember seeing another one. Whale? Ah, okay. Well, with whale, it's not the best, but you can probably use it to kill goldies. And if you use it in a good spot, maybe it can help kill brush chums when they pass through, but it's very finicky. I have splashdown. Yeah, splashdown can be good to clear an area, especially towards the end. The last 10 or so seconds, you definitely probably want to use one. I go change. I'll have them come up to me. I go change coming at 39. Alright, we get someone try to stall this rush chum next. Prepare the splashdown. That was an improvement. We're getting closer to the goal I proposed. Okay, so considering where the brush chum are spawning from in the beginning, I don't think we need to use the Ingrail at all, because by the time they reach us, the aggro is going to change, and so the spawn direction is also going to change. So I think we can be more aggressive in the first 10 seconds. Oh, I probably should hit, yeah. Nope. Messing up. So in the beginning, let's just all stay on the ground and shoot at the rush chum. I'm gonna try to put an egg on top of basket. To be careful with grabbing that egg because I want to spawn a snatcher that can help bring eggs up. I'll put an egg like roughly this spot. I'm gonna say this way right here. This is where I'm gonna put an egg, so be careful here. Okay, remember aggro changes at 90. It's fine if that dies over there because snatchers can get them anyway. Alright, aggro change and aggro spawn direction change. Aggro change. It's about to change. And I'm gonna try to put an egg up there now because eggs are piling up. And that guy's on the move, so I'll kill it now. I'm gonna buy us some time. Oh, I thought I missed. Alright, let's stall the rush, chum. Okay. I think our egg running there was much slower. Nah, for Bonerattle, I would say no. I think the only way you could I would recommend using it is if the rush chum come from the kiwi spot, so behind basket. But you have to be aware of that happening. You can also probably use it for the low tide spawns, but you have to be, again, really quick with popping it. Being aware that they're coming from there and then popping it. If they come from the pineapple side, the left side, then I would recommend not using it. Put an egg near basket. So basically, when you put an egg near the edge of that basket platform, you're gonna spawn a snatcher. And that snatcher has the range to bring up eggs that are down below. So what it's basically doing is bringing eggs that are down here up the basket. And then once it's about to move, you kill it and the eggs will be right here. And this is an easy way to just egg without having to rely on your ink to throw an egg into basket. So basically, snatchers do work for you. Ping from somewhere. I'll see if I can show it off again. I pulled it off in the last rush. There's no eggs right now, so it's not going to do that. But you can see how the snatcher will grab those eggs up there and bring them closer to basket. Okay, aggro change coming. Oh, this guy's taking eggs away. Ah, bad throw. I probably should have gotten a clip of it to show it off. But I think we'll be trying this again. Alright. I'll try to pull it off again in the next attempt. It's something that can be helpful during fog as well, because fog is very annoying with goalies taking forever, but it's a super risky strat because then if the snatcher dies, then then tough luck, you have to go manually put the eggs in. But it's something that can be useful on this map. It's useful on Sockeye when you have normal tide rush, or not rush, seeking. I think if you were to watch Brian's group's extra work high score from Sockeye, the very first Sockeye, you'll see it in action. Basically, we want to be just running the eggs into basket with this method rather than just depending on only egg throwing. So the snatcher is working for you by bringing these eggs from the bottom to the top. And then once you kill the snatcher up there, you have eggs you can just run directly into basket. But the egg has to be on the edge here for it to work. And you need eggs to be down here, of course, within the range. And it's about to change. Why did I think it was on? It's about to change. Like, this egg won't really work. It has to be much closer to the edge. Hey, like, those eggs will work. But we need more eggs near there, though. See if this snatcher does it. Ah, god dang it. Someone killed it too early. That's the problem with this idea, though, because you need your team to be on the same page, and that's gonna be a rare case. Also, we have so many eggs piling up. Aggro change. Really? I didn't get the egg throw. Well, we're almost gonna meet the goal. Nice. That was much better. It's all good. Jumpy. And stick. That was much better, you guys. But yeah, that strat is just it really depends on your teammates also being aware of that occurring. It's all good, Sabrina. It happens. I mean, it's super rare for it to work because yeah, it requires coordination and just being aware of what's happening there. All right, I say let's move on to grillers. I think we reached our goal there. That comp is pretty hard for rush, so making it to 45 is pretty good. Let's see, what do I want to say? Anything I want to say about grillers real quick? I mean, grillers is played similar to rush, but instead you're not really going to use, at least you shouldn't use the ink rails much until the very end to just stall grillers away while your group is egging. Let's see. I guess I should have shown this earlier, but this is an image I made last night. Basically what this means, I put grillers in rush. Green is the kill zone, and blue is the stall zone, basically, where you can also kill stuff and it'll help the group. So what was that ping going on? Oh, it's a different server. Never mind. So yeah, it's an image to help guide where to stand and where to kill and what should be the secondary kill area. We didn't experience it, but remember that snatchers, if they come from the other side of basket or from where you're standing, you're gonna have to be at least a little careful with them, because they'll be able to put more or move more eggs closer to basket. We got bad snatchers, but yeah, something to keep in mind whenever you play Bonerattle and Get Rush. Alright, let me put up the griller clip from Gunji. Okay. Normal tide grillers. Aggro player still positioned in front of baskets. Stunner, the stunner weapon, let me put that on the map. Stunner weapon, I'm gonna represent that with a leader. Let me put this over there, put the griller right there. Stunner weapon, I mean, it can be up here, but I personally don't like it because you need to be aware if you have the red laser. If you have the red laser, you should definitely be down here. If you don't, then that's fine. You can be up here. But yeah, if you ever get the red laser, just be down here. Griller should move like this, be stunned roughly around here. When it comes from the left side. When it comes from the right, the stunner should probably be here. That way it can be stunned here. Or as it's turning. And then when it's from the right, it's gonna be a little tricky, but you can still make it work from there. And then once it has to like move this way. It should not come up here. If you have griller aggro, it should not come up here when it's coming from the kiwi backside. It should go like this in front of or underneath the ink rail, basically. So if you're aggroed with this griller, I recommend probably just standing here when it's approaching. And if it's getting really close, jump to this platform, and then it's stunned. Griller's stunned. But yeah, that's the gist of it. You can, as I said, you can definitely probably get away with here, but just make sure to be aware if the laser is on you or not. But yeah, that's basically the gist of grillers, in my opinion. Obviously, don't ignore small fries. We're gonna need a weapon to at least focus on them. Blasters are really good. Rollers are the best. Blasters are also really good. So those type of weapons will be dealing with small fries. There's sometimes comps where there's double sword, right? Double spatanas. I would recommend one of the spatanas to do it. When it's whenever it's Mint, Decavitator, and Stamper in the comp, I would recommend Stamper. Whenever it's Wiper and Stamper, I would recommend the Wiper. So basically, Mint, Decavitator, and then Stamper, and then Wiper in that order for griller duty. And then, you know, whoever B2 is the small fry dealer. What else? And then real quick, when eggs pile up, which will happen, if you're really quick, it might be good to move the griller this way when you're aggro during the last 10 seconds if you see we have a lot of eggs. Because, you know, this will buy us some time from small fries and the griller won't get in our way. But of course, if the griller comes from here, we have no choice but to try to kill it super quick. This can work, but, you know, there's gonna be small fries that will be just spawning and then harassing us while egg throwing. So that's why I recommend being on the opposite side with the griller towards the final grillers. In case we have eggs to run. A lot of eggs to run. Alright, let's check out Gunji's team play this. Yes, Tri-Slosher, that's a really good small fry weapon. Tri-Stringer and Mint Decavitator are, and Ballpoint to an extent, are better stunner weapons. And of course, Mint and Ballpoint will probably be dealing the DPS to kill Griller. Remember, between downtimes, you want to focus on eggs to try to minimize your inactivity. You don't want to spend too much time doing nothing. If there's eggs, try to focus on eggs. Like, see, there's downtime right there. Also, snatchers are good, so they're able to help bring these eggs close to their basket. So they're trying to be careful here to not kill it prematurely. Snatchers on the move. Now there's eggs over basket, so that's easier eggs to run. Killer Whale to help stun and kill the Griller. That was really good. And that's really solid Grillers. What do you guys think? Would you guys tell me what you guys think? In terms of specials, they're all really good. Crabs can help stun Grillers when you do a lob shot. Especially when they come from here, I would recommend. If you have crabs and you want to use it, I recommend like this. Standing around here, do a lob shot, and I'll stun the Griller. I think you can, yeah, you can also do it from here too. Basically like how I had the leader placed earlier. You can do that. Jets, I would recommend almost never using Jet. Jet is just not gonna be good. Well, I mean, it can do its stuff, but you know, Jet's much better in other waves. It's definitely very low priority on Grillers because doesn't really do much compared to other specials. I mean, you got Killer Whale. Killer Whale can pierce the Griller. You'll stun it. You can even kill it. So that's a top tier special. Booyah Bomb, same deal, but of course this one has a little bit more of a skill ceiling because you want to if the Griller is like not stunned, for example, you're gonna want to predict its movement, so you need to know where it's gonna move. But definitely a top tier special. Wave Breaker is okay, but it's more for small fry control rather than to do anything with Grillers. So it's useful if you have a lot of eggs near the end and they're small fries. So that'll help clear them up. Reef Slider, top tier special for Rush. Or not, well, I mean Grillers. Also for Rush, but Grillers, because it can pierce through. And if you time it well, it will not only stun it, but then with the explosion, it'll kill the Griller. So top tier special. We can also put this here to signal that. Where's the other Griller? There we go. What are the specials left? Ink Strikes, also really good. Because you can do, if you have like multiple Grillers coming, you can pop Ink Strikes, send 2 where they're gonna meet up, and then, you know, it'll kill them. Or you can have one hit this, and then throw another one at one of them, and the group focuses on another Griller. So, very good special. Kraken, again, top tier, because you can just pierce through Grillers, not get killed by Griller, and be able to just kill it and the small fries that spawn off the griller. So this will also kill the griller really well. Splashdown, I think this one requires just a bit more timing. But it can definitely stun and kill griller from this, like I'll say from this spot, because you're going to be exposed to the tail as it's moving. So definitely really good specials. It's just Jet where I recommend maybe not really using it, because all it can offer is just stalling grillers. And I mean, you can use it to stun, but you know, there's better weapons, there's better specials. It's just better to save Jet for another wave. If you have it for wave 3, then yeah, you can pop it and try to stun a griller, and you'll be safe from small fries as well. Or you can use it to get the small fries, because maybe have a comp that is really bad at small fry control. So those are my thoughts with specials and grillers. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say the biggest score killer for me with normal type grillers is not being mindful of good snatchers and not being mindful of leading the grillers correctly, like leading them up the ramp, for instance, if it comes from low tide or kiwi. Yeah. What will look like in high tide for griller? We can go over low tide or high tide griller soon. But first, let's just focus on normal tide grillers, since that's what you wanted to know more. Also, hey, Shrew. But yeah, I have a clip to show. I mean, I even have it right here. I have a clip to show high tide griller. So we'll go over that soon. Okay, yeah, we already saw the clip, so let's try it out. Let's try playing a griller seed. Okay. Let me look at my notes and see which one is griller. Okay, the second one. Okay, so this is the griller seed. We have reflux, stamper, ballpoint, tenta. With this comp, I recommend reflux focusing on small fries, because tenta is on the slower end. Bringing out the shield is not that quick. So I recommend tenta. Maybe if you're gonna bring out the shield, do it with anticipation, because it's gonna be very slow. Let me show it all. Well, no, I already changed. But I was gonna say, you can try to put your shield against the walls, maybe the basket platform walls or the platform we're gonna be standing on, as that'll buy us some time from small fries, while it not moving away from the small fries or from anything else. But yeah, reflux is probably the best one here. Tenta, ballpoint, stamper, they can all deal DPS to the griller. They can look to stun and look to kill, but stamper is going to be your main guy here. So no pressure to stamper. And of course with stamper, you're going to be using the vertical charged slashes. You almost never use horizontal unless you need to get rid of small fries. Okay, I got Wave Breaker and I have Stamper. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, I'm gonna try to stun this here. It's gonna spawn from there as well again. Now change the spawn directions. Remember not to bring it up here. Small fries. Guys, we keep bringing it up there. I recommended not to do that. When they come from that, you bring them like this over here. And I'll drop that. I'll buy some time. We're gonna need to just lure the grillers away. Alright, I think we just completely forgot what we just watched or what I just talked about because we kept bringing the grillers up to the platform when I said you shouldn't do that. So let's go back. As I mentioned, when grillers come from low tide or from kiwi, you're aggroed. You're not gonna bring them up here because that's just gonna get in our way, especially if we're all there. What you're supposed to do when you have aggro and they come from there is obviously bring them up this way so they can go this way. If you need to go to safety, you jump here to this platform on the left side of the map. Because then it'll just expose its tail to the rest of the team. And it should, well, it should be stunned by then, but it'll expose its tail to the rest of the team. So when you're aggroed, don't stand here because this is bad. Bring it across. When it comes from the left kiwi side, then that's fine because it should be stunned by then. But when they come from these two sides where I have the griller marked and you're aggro, do not lure them there. You want to be down here. When it's approaching you, maybe jump here for safety and you should be good. Let me see if you guys said anything. Oh, they there we go. But this is what I remember from earlier. Yes. All right, let me go back and do that. But yeah, but what I said is just don't bring them up here. If you're aggro, don't bring them up here. Bring them here. So you can be here. If you see it turn here, just jump here immediately. And it should be stunned relatively sooner than this, but it'll expose its tail if it goes this way. But it should be stunned by here. So if you're trying to be cautious, just remember to jump here if you're aggroed and it's coming from these directions. Of course, when this one goes around, well then what you can do is maybe you can hug the wall on the basket platform here, or it might be fine to just stand here at that point, but we need to make sure it gets stunned. So yeah, keep that in mind. You feel small fries need to handle small fries by being a high DPS weapon. We can definitely try that. I think it should be fine with reflux and ballpoint. But if that's easier for the group, we can definitely experiment with Stamper as the small fry weapon. And the other weapons dealing the stunning and DPS. You guys want to try that out? I'll try to... I shall try to barnacle you this round though. Ah, yeah, good point. Alright, I guess let's try that out. I'll try, because I got Stamper. We'll try with Stamper dealing with small fries. And you guys have to just focus on stunning and DPSing the griller. When it comes to DPS, Reflux just needs to tap shoot, really. On the griller, that is. Alright, let's try that out. But yeah, just a quick recap about this. Don't let this happen. Bring them across. You can jump here for safety, and they should be stunned by then. I guess when you're not aggroed, I'm representing this with the Octos. We're probably gonna be standing here. So yeah, that's why the aggro player should be over here. And then they should be able to stun the griller for you, and then you deal DPS and profit. DPS is damage per second. Basically, killing. Alright, let's give that another go. Yeah, it is. That's why. That's why you should have been here earlier. We did rush, and yeah, we're tackling the tricky waves today. Where did they come from? I think they came. Nah, it doesn't matter. We want to play this as blind as we can. Alright, be quick because the next one's gonna spawn right here. Man, I'm kind of hungry. So when you're, I think you have to be up down here more because you see the eggs are piling up. Wait, I just realized, am I even streaming my point of view? Nope. Ah, got it. Alright, this is the radio call. Here we go. Alright, Griller dead. Griller's getting away. Alright, special being used, Ink Strike. Really nice. There's still lots of eggs piled up. Hey, 15 seconds left. Let's lure away the last Grillers, by the way. Yeah, it's my bad. I forgot to transition back to the gameplay capture. But we got 40. All right, let me put that back. I think it's that, right? Yeah, there we go. I guess this time it was much better. We got 40. Let's try that again. With the eggs that are piling up, I do highly recommend to just begin luring grillers away from us. If you're gonna pop a special, maybe you can, if you have aggro that is, you can be at basket and have the grillers go up to you. That's perfectly fine as well. So I recommend if you have Ink Strike, Reef Slider, maybe Splashdown. Just focus more on stunning. You can get some leftovers small fries, but focus more on stunning this time. The Stamper will focus on small fries. Of course, in the beginning it doesn't matter because there's like no threat. So I can help with stunning here. Where's the other one? Hey, nice Pentabrella. Hey, not good split, but it worked. Alright, let's de-lure the griller. Move away, basically, from the egg pile. Just to make sure, in a real game, probably don't pop the ink strikes with 3 seconds left. But if you were just doing that just to mess around, that's perfectly fine. For scenarios, that is. Okay, that was much better. Do we want to try to push 50 or... Well, I mean, we can move on to the next seed. That's another griller comp. This one, I don't know if it's easier or harder. Might be a little harder just because there's no good... Well, there's not an amazing DPS weapon other than Luna. We have Luna. It's all good, Sabrina. You know, this type of stuff, you just gain experience over time, and it gets easier and easier and better. So this comp, Luna is gonna be your best DPS here, while not only killing grillers, but with its AoE, it should be able to get a lot of the fries. Octobrush again, it's gonna be good for getting small fries. I think here H3 and GoodTuber have to do their best to get the stun on the griller. And we're gonna have to work together to kill griller because it's gonna be otherwise slow if we just let certain weapons kill them here. Specials will be important to speed up kills. Again, as I mentioned with the specials, Killer Whale, Booyah, Reef Slider, Ink Strike, Kraken, Splashdown. Crab can also be good. Those are the specials you want to see. So let's give this a try. Sure. I mean, you're free to share right now. Then I can try to repeat it so I can save it to the VOD stream. If you guys don't know, Shu is like a freelance warrior who grinds to 9s. I also overfish with him. He is a monster at Salmon Run. Okay, I got the goo. Okay, it's pretty easy. Just wait for it to line up. Bam. And then after it's stunned, with YouTuber, just tap shoot. Stun, tap shoot. Keep an eye on another one. Ah, I missed my window. Oh, didn't die. Very nice. Ah, that one's gone. And our Street Fighter. Just ignore the griller. Hey, that was decent. It's just that we lost control after what? The 20-second mark? I mean 20 seconds into the wave. It was after I whiffed the first griller. Or I don't think I whiffed, I just didn't charge quick enough for it. So we lost control there because we were expecting one, the griller to probably be stunned, and two, we had two players on the right side. Or the left side, I mean, if we're looking at the map layout. Let's give that another go. Luna's gonna want to be in the face, well, as close to the face of the griller, because then you'll be able to deal not only damage to the griller, but also deal with the small fries that spawn out of it. Probably want to aim like in the middle. I don't know how else to describe it. I probably need to grab a picture of a griller. But yeah, that's good. That's good cleanup. Good DPS and good small fry control. Oh, it needs a tap. Okay. Thought I'd be stunned by now. My bad. YouTuber cannot solo stun. It needs a charge shot and a tap shoot, so it'd be good if another weapon does some damage to it. Remember what I said about stalling grillers away? I do recommend trying to think more throughout the wave. Like if you're seeing eggs piling up, then that's your sign that if you get aggro, just take the griller somewhere else where you can stall it, so that your group can focus on running eggs. Yeah, Killer Whale. Killer Whale is really good in grillers. I would recommend seeing Killer Whale before I see a crab. Let's aim for 45 again. I forgot what the high score we got before. Let's try to get 45. Okay, Killer Whale, or I mean, Wave Breaker. I'll try to get a shot prematurely in. You need to be quicker though, because I shouldn't be alone trying to get that griller. Because it takes me 2 shots, 1 charge shot and then 1 tap shot to stun the griller. I'm just gonna bring my griller up. This is what you should do. We have griller aggro, we have eggs piled up. Just someone bring the grillers over here to stall them. Alright, let's watch Gunji's group do that again. I feel we're still lost. Like, I'm not expecting 60 or anything, but I think we're still a little too solo focused, if that makes sense. Let me see, what was our other attempt? Was it this one? I think it was that one. Yeah, 42. 45 should be doable. Alright, let me put up the stream again. There we go. And then there we go. Reef, Wavebreaker, Crab, and Killer Whale is what we had. I don't think you guys should do this yet. I think you guys need to be comfortable with being aggressive players first before attempting to kill grillers like this. This is definitely more for more experienced players. Because I still feel you guys are very hesitant and second guessing what you should be doing. So you need to be comfortable first with your actions before you play like this type of style of aggressive gameplay. You need to get a little more comfortable, basically. That was pretty good. You guys have any questions before tackling, or like any? Or you guys are lost anywhere when we play? Anything you're thinking about? Before I forget, I should switch over to my window. Or any questions about what they were doing that you want to understand? Oh, several people typing. Stalling at the end. Is it worth losing 2 players to stall and leave the grillers the other 2 to throw, or does one stall and the other killed? That's a good question, because yeah, it depends a lot on what we have, right? Since we have Reef, we could risk it and have the grillers come, but the Reef Slider player needs to be aware of where the direction the grillers are coming from, and have the Reef line up with the grillers to get the stun, or hope someone stuns the griller quick enough to then Reef Slider and kill them instantly. But with this comp, I don't think it's fast enough and strong enough to get the stun before that happens. So you'll probably need Reef Slider to line up to get the stun on both grillers and then pop and kill the grillers with the Reef Slider explosion. If we get lucky and it's one player has aggro on both, then that'd be good. Otherwise, whichever griller's coming in quicker should be the that's the player that needs to go stall, and the other one will just have to likely just focus on egg running, and maybe it won't reach us in time. And see, I don't want to use crab since we have killer whale and reef. Is there hesitancy on using a whale or reef would be optimal? Yeah, I do believe there's hesitancy with the killer whale. Killer whale, let's see, what's a good way of putting it for you to help know when to pop it? Hey fish, I guess for killer whale, to pop it, if you see grillers coming our way and there's a lot of eggs on the floor, I would recommend that's a good time to pop it, because that way we can all focus on egg running. No one has to focus on trying to stun the griller. And then once we get like an egg, like 2 or 3 eggs into basket, we can focus our attention on DPSing the grillers and killing them. You don't want to use killer whale too late, because I've seen it being used in the last 5 seconds, and at that point it's too late. You need to use it much sooner, like 12 seconds in, and like 12 seconds remaining at the latest. Well, 8 seconds remaining at the latest. For me as Reef, it's less hesitancy and more lack of awareness. So if I could anticipate them being lined up, I could use Reef for further in advance, but since I'm not aware, I tend to use it only when I see 2 stunned already at the same place. I would be down to practice more awareness in the next one, but I would mean I'd throw less eggs to look around more until I don't have it. I'm fine doing this. I just want to give a heads up for the depositing eggs. Let's see. My advice with awareness. Let's pretend. Like, I guess my question is, how do you have your camera position? Because I know a lot of newer players that have their camera position like this towards the ground, and you're just limiting your view when you do this. So I always recommend having it mostly level. That way you see what's going on. Because yeah, this you're just making yourself have less vision, and then you'll likely die to something like steel eel, for example, or steelhead bombs that you don't see. So yeah, you're gonna want to have it a level field, your camera. That way you can see everything. And see ya, John, thanks for joining in and watching. If you have any questions, you're free to check or DM me or anything. But yeah. Real quick with, since you're a Reef Slider, Shrimp, let me see if I can help you with the map, page. Okay, let's see. Let's move this, move that. Okay, so let's pretend a griller comes from these 2 points. Okay, where's Reef Slider? There we go. If you happen to not be aggroed to any of these grillers, you can time it so that the grillers, like for example this one reaches here, you zoom through this griller, and then you don't hit the button to explode yet until you cross the second griller, and then you explode. It'll probably kill this one, but this one will be probably kept alive, but you should have teammates ready to kill that. So I would recommend maybe standing here. That way you're prepared for this intersection. If they both happen to come around here for whatever reason, you can probably just stand here. When they're at this point, you can zoom in, boom, like that. But I think this is more helpful, probably. Being here, that way you're aware of where the other griller is. Assuming there's a griller here. Well, if they both come from the same direction and they're both on the right side, yeah, it will help a lot to just be here. And then at that point, you depend on your teammates to probably be here and not up here, because then you'll probably have a scenario where one griller goes there, and then one griller goes there. But I think that can still work, because then you just you stun this one because you ram through it. You explode here, it kills this one and stuns this one maybe. I think this is probably the best spot you want to stand towards the end when you have Reef Slider. But again, that's assuming there's like no griller here, and if there is a griller, maybe just focus on one griller. You can probably get that one instead. That type of deal. All right, let's try and attempt. Let me get the. It's always finicky trying to jump back between windows. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go. I honestly didn't think Grillers was going to be the trickier one of the two. But then again, I guess, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Rush is just, in my opinion, Rush is just scarier than Grillers. But we got close to 45 as our goal. In the first attempt, we just need to replicate that, but be a little more quicker with egg throws or stunning or luring away the griller. Camera now comes from the other side now. Uh-oh. Small fries. Hey, that's pretty nice because you got the stun. I'd say let's just stall now because we have a lot of eggs. But unfortunately we have two people doing it. Okay. Oh, there we got those eggs. Hey, that was a solid attempt. Did we even see Killer Whale? I don't know if we saw Killer Whale. No, we didn't. Let's try to put Killer Whale into use because it would help a lot. Remember, killer whale, you probably want to use it when we have eggs piling up and we want to focus more on egg running rather than trying to be in position to stun. Another way would be if the killers are coming from different directions and it makes it tricky for us to deal with both. Yeah, awkward. If you want, I can call out when to pop it, if that helps. But you should definitely learn to basically think about it yourself and trust yourself. Alright, let's go. Hey, that's really good. I was scared because I thought you were gonna die. Yeah, that was good. Someone get the snatcher. That basket. Oh, it's gone. It's too late. Just ignore it. Alright, nice. And just in case, in a real game, that killer was way too late, but I understand if that was just a celebratory killer whale. But nice. We met our goal. Bonerattle Grillers is tricky because you also really yeah, you need to have awareness on a lot of things, right? You need to be aware where the grillers are coming from. You need to be aware where the snatchers are coming from and if they can optimize your eggs. All that info has to be used to help you determine, do I have time to grab an egg? And then when it comes to specials, you kind of have to think about it. The ones you have to think about it are Killer Whale, Ink Strikes for sure, Reef Slider, because those ones have some timing required to them. Yeah, it can definitely be tricky, especially when you need to like all be on the same page. We did lose some grillers there, like not lose, but like they moved too much and at times too far away. And ideally we don't want that to happen. But yeah, that was a solid attempt. We met our goal. Yeah, we can move on to the next thing if, well, I mean, I don't mind going a little overboard, but It's up to you guys if you guys, one, want spoilers to extra work, and two, if you want to continue. Because it has been the 2 hours already. But I did want to somewhat touch on extra work. But if, alright. Let's move on to extra work then. And if you don't want spoilers, then feel free to to leave, and thanks for stopping by. But yeah, then let's go look at the extra work comp. Let me switch over again to the browser. Okay, so extra work. We have Junior, Splash Shot Junior. We have Reflux. We have Baton Stamper. We have Wellstring. And these specials are all correlated with the weapons. Booyah Bomb, Ink Strike, Splashdown, Wave Breaker. All really, really good specials I like to see. Probably Jet would have been really nice for something like Wave 5, but we have Ink Strikes. That's really good. What else? Oh yeah, waves. Wave 1, I don't think anyone needs to know about that, but Wave 2, High-Tide Griller, I'm going to touch on that real quick. I don't know if we want to practice it, but probably we should at least. Maybe not in the high scoring sense, but on what you should be doing. There's Low Tide Ship. It's going to be up to personal preferences, but you're most likely going to be using Ink Strikes for the mothership to not only repel it, but also grab any caviar, especially the caviar at the end of the second approach. There's Kohawk Charge. Again, you're going to probably use the back cannon. Alright, so let's tackle High-Tide Griller. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Because I took an image. Okay, I'll share it in chat, because that makes it easier rather than showing it. So this is a reference image to where you want to position yourself when you have Griller aggro. And it's all good, Huin, if you need to go. If there's anyone in here that can join us for a High-Tide Griller practice, feel free to let me know. But if we just do the learning thing, we can definitely just do it as a 3P. But just putting it out there. But yeah, this image, it shows the reference to where you want to lure the Griller. I think this is Sad Face's image, and I think they drew that red line to signal which grate on the vertical line you hover over. But yeah, I'll continue in a second. But yeah, thanks for joining, Huin. Hope you have a good night. So as you can see, when you have the camera hovered over, it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on the 4th column, basically. That's a good reference, but I think another reference you can use is use the water line. That's the whole point when you do this trick. Here's the clip. You hover over the line. I'm gonna make this big soon, but let's watch it as is right now. You hover over the line, teammates stun the Griller, and then once they're stunned, maybe get out of there so you can kill it, and the eggs will pop up above. This is going to be the strat you'll see a lot of your teammates likely do during this extra work. I don't know if it's full screen, but I hope it is. Wow, okay. 720 and it's still pretty bad. So you see he's lining up here over the shoreline. You can use this as a reference in case the grate is a little too hard to tell. For the grate, it's like the 4th column lineup. The other alternative Q is to line up over this shore, the water, where the water meets the land, basically. you want to hover just underneath the grates, not in the grates. Just underneath it. I think if you go in the grates, it'll cause the grillers to come all the way around and come up to the grate, up to basket. So you need to be careful about it. So then your teammates all go gather here to stun the griller, and then once they're stunned, you jump out and help with the DPS. So you can kill the grillers, and then as they die, if you did the trick right, the eggs will pop to land because they're hovering over the water here. And well, I honestly don't know how it works, because sometimes if you do it wrong, the eggs will land down there. But if it's just right in that line, the eggs will pop up to basket and makes it easy to just run the eggs in without wasting ink on egg throwing. And then you just keep repeating the trick. Pretty much. I'd say it's very forgiving. I don't think it's like something like super scary like speedrunners where you have like a 1 frame perfect trick, for example. I think this is pretty doable. So if you guys want, we can give it a try. I think I saved a seed at least. Did I? Yes, I did. All right. Oh, and should we try this as a 3P, or is anyone able to join to be a 4th? Score is not really important here, but if we have a 4th, we can attempt it. But otherwise, it's just practice to get the trick done. Sure, Guru Neko, you can join us. The pool is OFS. Yeah, just OFS. Pool OFS. Let me put that in chat as well. Okay, there we go. We'll practice the griller trick because that's going to be pretty important. I'll put that in screen for now as we wait. I wish I could find someone doing this in a real game, but it's so hard to find any references for real games. But I guess we'll have plenty once the extra work happens. I think for normal weapons, the record for this is 65. I'm not 100% sure. But this wave goes much better when it's Crisco Splatana. So gold rotations or random rotations. But of course that requires the luck of the draw. Could you link Mampuku's vid, please? I do have a ref I can send Lola. Just success failure in the same clip. You mean if you can link it, Fish? Yeah, you're free to link it. You can check it out real quick. Alright, sounds good. I'll send the invite. Ah, okay, we can watch it like that. Can I open this? No, I can't. Alright, we can just watch it in the chat. Let me pause this and then switch back over to this stream or my gameplay loop. Alright, let's see. Nice. And then I don't know where those other eggs went. I guess down below. Yeah, it's finicky. But with practice, you can definitely get this down. And there's gonna be plenty of practice with extra work. So definitely experiment in extra work with this. Alright, let's see. Which seed is the one I'm looking for? 218%. Is it this one? Okay, I think it's this one. So remember, once we have the griller stunned, we all try to focus on killing the griller. And if we do it right, the eggs will pop up to the basket platform, and easy money. Oh, you mean the quitter clip? Ah, okay. Yeah, I can send that. Okay, this is not it. Let's go find another clip. Okay, which clip is it? I guess it's this one. Let's go in the water because this is not the high-tech griller I thought it was. Is Manbuku MacGuffin? Because it's the MacGuffin clip. Okay, my bad on choosing the wrong seed. Because I did have to look to Genji's website and translate it with a Google Lens. Let's see, so maybe it's this one? Hopefully it's this one. If it's not, then I'll need a moment to find a seed real quick. I think the only ones that are in the Leonidas sheet are very high hazards, and we definitely need to practice with lower speed. Maybe. Definitely we'll look if this is not it. Please be it. Maybe. Well, yeah, and it's important to paint this wall, by the way. Very important. Okay, there we go. Alright. Ah, it wasn't right. Let's see. Ah, oh well. Just if it, yeah, we can just kill them, but yeah, we're just gonna try to practice it down below. The small fries do make that difficult. So we need to paint that a lot. I'm not even targeted. What am I doing? Let's see, is this good? Alright, that's good and good. Oh, nice. There we go. Someone has aggro. Alright. Trying to put this here, man. Alright, nice. Yeah, I'm assuming I was desynced. Ink. Well, we can clutch this. That was good. Alright, we were successful, like, with what, 4 grillers? 6 grillers? No, 6, right? Because 30 eggs. Alright, let's go in the water and we can try it again. So yeah, that's basically the trick you're going to be seeing a lot of people try to do in extra work. I don't know if you're going to see this in freelance, I imagine you will, but you know how that can be because players play very solo focused, which will cause problems. And it'll also cause problems in pickups because not everyone's going to be on the same page. It's all good, Kuroneko. It's definitely gonna be tricky with 2 people aggroed, but we're gonna also need to focus a lot on keeping this wall painted. I think it's also decent because I saw it green and people were still able to walk things, so I think it was decent. And for us, we need to wait for it to line up. Okay, nice. We don't want to be prematurely Yay. It's a lot of pressure to get it. Watch out. It's desynced. Hey, who has aggro? I think this one's desynced. That's gonna be a big problem with desyncs. Nice. These small fries, man. I think in a real game though, we're gonna have to try to kill some elsewhere. But yeah, we got even more eggs this time, so that means we definitely got more drillers stunned down below. Let's see, with the extra work comp, we'll have Stamper, right? Yeah, Stamper and Wellstring are gonna definitely be going berserk with killing the grillers, so it'll be much quicker in extra work. And the same applies with Reflux as well. Hypothetically speaking, I would say that you'll probably see maybe Splashdown and Booyah Bomb used during grillers in extra work in the higher groups. So I imagine they're gonna probably be able to lure some grillers up if it gets a little overwhelming with luring. And then the whole desync issue that will definitely occur. I didn't see, and I see it blink too. I don't think they posted it. As in the scenario channel is not light up for me. Since I did create the channel, so it should be lighting up. Yay. Nice. I didn't think that was gonna work for one of them. These small fries, they're so annoying. Nah, that one was not gonna happen. It was not lined up. Okay, nice. Nah, even more improvement. Nice. I love Buckhead. I think you guys got the gist of it with the trick. Now, of course, to push up the score, we're probably gonna have to kill some elsewhere anyway. But whenever you have spawn, whenever you have grillers coming from, let me show it off in the map. This is all hypothetical. Let me go back and then hit high tide. Assuming, yeah, if you're trying to aim for scores, I'm hypothetically speaking, I'm assuming teams are gonna kill grillers that spawn over here farther away than using the trick. I think you only want to use the trick if the grillers spawn from low tide and where's the other griller icon? And from here, the Kiwi backside. I imagine that's the only times you'll probably do that. And then the grillers from left will just probably be killed normally. Because it's all about being quick. And this one's pretty slow, so you want to get rid of it as soon as you can. So you can get more eggs. So I'm assuming that's what's going to happen during extra work. Are you guys all good with high tide grillers, or should we let others try it or move on? I want to think of it. I don't know if yeah, I probably should do low tide, huh? I'll have low tide ready in case. Or you guys want to give it one more go? The high tide griller. I think high tide griller is the wave to try to study up and learn, because it's cheese, to put it lightly. It's trick does require some practice and getting used to. Alright, I guess we can touch on low tide ship. This is an image I drew. I'll share it in chat. This is just my opinion. I'm sure others will have a different approach. But this is my opinion with the distribution of weapons during low tide ship. I think Junior and Reflux are interchangeable. You can probably just, it doesn't matter where they're positioned as long as they're just, you know, separated from each other. The reason I put Stamper there is because I think it has the best range in this comp for low tide ship. And what I mean here with, well, the colors, it symbols their weapon, right? So green here is for Junior. This is the eggs they'll be focusing on. Wellstring is blue. This is the area I would recommend it focusing on and shooting down Chinooks. Purple for Reflux. And Stamper, I have two colors. Yellow is the range of coolers it'll be knocking down. This red circle and arrow, what I mean by this is that as Stamper, you're gonna want to look in the sky a lot, and for the reason is to shoot down the Chinooks when they're over basket. If you shoot these Chinooks that are flying, that are gonna supposed to land back here, if you kill them in the air, those eggs will land down below. basket, in front of basket. So less travel time, more eggs near basket, profit. Let me put that in the website now. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one with this is the mothership coolers landing zones. Let me put the weapons, Stamper, Wellstring, Junior, Reflux. As I said, Reflux and Junior, I think they're interchangeable. Doesn't matter. The main weapon that matters is Stamper, in my opinion. So with Stamper, you're gonna be shooting down Chinooks that are flying over baskets. You like say this guy's flying over a basket, and it's supposed to land back here. So you shoot at it while it's flying over a basket, it dies, and it produces an egg, right? And now the egg lands here instead of the egg landing down over here. That's the reason you want Stamper over here, because with the vertical slash, you'll be able to kill the Chinook over a basket and have eggs land here, which, you know, you just dunk them into basket rather than having to travel all the way over here and egg throw it in, which is a waste of time. It takes long movement to reach to it. Waste of ink efficiency. So if you're able to just kill the Chinooks over basket, all these ones back here, you'll have eggs much closer, and you can be depositing eggs as you look in the sky and shoot. And considering there's gonna be lots of eggs, to be honest, I think maybe you're gonna have Junior around basket and maybe Wellstringer over there. I don't know. Or maybe Wellstringer will focus more on eggs. It's up. This is just my opinion, of course. Teams will probably approach this differently with more knowledge and experience than me, but this is how I would approach it myself. Because, you know, once eggs pile up here, you're gonna need a weapon to deal with it. I forget if these are snatcher spots. I think they are. If these are snatcher spots, then maybe say the snatcher. Actually, I don't know if the data mine included where the snatchers spawn. Yeah, I don't think so. But if they spawn here, for example, then maybe you'll have just maybe Wellstringer here, and instead have a weapon at basket to help run these eggs. And if the snatcher comes from over here, then maybe you'll have Wellstringer over here and Junior over there. Wellstringer to shoot down Chinooks, and then have the snatchers optimize them and bring those eggs over to baskets. Yeah, I forgot about the snatchers. So yeah, those are the type of things you'll have to take into consideration. I actually don't have a low tide. I don't have a low tide. Oh no, I do have a low tide seed. So we can give it a try if you guys want to give low tide mothership a try. And there is no crab, so our specials are what? Booyah Bomb, Ink Strike. I think I saw Wavebreaker. And what's the other one? Splashdown. So with these specials, it's gonna be up to personal preferences. I would recommend using Ink Strikes to help deal damage to the mothership. And then on the second attempt, when the mothership comes for like the last time, you want to time your Ink Strike so that it can get the caviar, the 5 snatchers, so it can spawn 5 eggs. You're gonna want to time the Ink Strike. If not, then maybe Stamper can be aware in case the Ink Strike doesn't get the caviar. Something to keep in mind. Ink Strikes off to get caviar? It all depends on how much damage the mothership has been dealt with. So, once you see it taking some damage, pop it immediately and pop your Ink Strikes. Want to time the ink strikes just a little bit so that they're not all becoming a mega bomb. You want to time it like maybe 1 second off, or well, half a second really. Yeah, it's hard for me to explain that one, but yeah, you have to look at the mothership's damage. If it's not taking damage, then maybe you're gonna need Stamper to deal with it and get the caviar. The seed is this one. Yeah. And so we have two more rounds. All right. So let's tackle this one. The other wave's Kohawk Charge, and well, we gone over that in JSJ with Sabrina, that is. I can briefly talk about cannons afterwards, but for now we can give an attempt to the mothership. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, let me change it back to the window. Come on, where is it? There we go. There we go, my bad. Gameplay window. With this one, Jet Sculpture for sure is on the back. I'll let Sabrina choose where to go. I'll go to the right. Sandra's can optimize the left side. You want to look up in the sky as often as you can so you don't miss snatches. I'm gonna head back since there's not much action for me. Not sure if we have a special. If not, we can just DPS. But good specials are Killer Whale, Ink Strikes, but the most important is Crab. If you have Crab, you'd never see another special use. It's only going to be Crab. But if we don't have Crab, then likely Killer Whale, Ink Strikes. Booyah can also be used, but yeah, it can be used actually. Especially for the caviar. Let me help at basket. I have no range to get the Chinooks in the air. Ow, just barely missed the caviar. Okay, decent attempt. Guy's gone in the water. AK, yeah, it was scenarios. We're about to approach the end, but yeah, we were practicing. Well, we were checking out the extra work seeds. Splatling. Let me show that off in the other thing. There we go. There we go. Hit leave. I think Splatling, you know, it has to charge, so ideally you're almost gonna be just entirely focusing on running eggs. And since we have Jet Squelcher is gonna be the duty of what I was showing off with Stamper. So with the eggs piling up, I'd probably just put heavy Splatling, like focusing on running eggs basically. And if you need to, you don't have to charge all the way, but you can be shooting down the Chinooks that land like in these spots. Grates, across grates, in front of basket. So yeah, that's where I would put the Splatling heavy edit. I just realized it's heavy edit, not heavy Splatling, but Same thing. You guys just want to give that another go, or should I just briefly talk about any questions guys have for extra work, or anything you want to know about Bonerattle Cohook charge? As Sabrina has to go pretty soon. One more try? Alright. One more try and we can dismiss. What was the other blaster that could tap shoot for rush, by the way? It's only Clash Blaster and Grisco Blaster. The other blasters, they're much slower. I mean, Grisco Blaster is basically a cracked out Clash Blaster. Blaster is too slow to do that little tip. Rapid Blaster as well. Rapid Blaster Pro. So yeah, it's only Clash Blaster and Grisco Blaster. Oops, I forgot. I always forget about changing it. I missed the ink rail. That happens more often than I wish for. And going back to basket. Just to help with lesser control. You would almost never see a wave breaker in Mothership, but just for lesser control. Alright. Pretty consistent. I forget what this seed is anyway. High Tide Fog. Time is a little off to get the caviar there, but just keep practicing and it'll come easy. And then you have a ranged weapon like Jet Squelcher, that's also a nice backup. Yeah, thanks for joining, Octogirl or Sabrina. Thank you guys for joining. I'll probably end soon. I'll probably can quickly answer any questions you guys have about extra work or any of the waves I touched on today, rush and grillers. Or if you guys want to know any thoughts about the cannon wave. But I mean, the cannon is simple. You just focus on the you mostly have the back cannon, right? Mostly use that one. Sometimes you use the front too, but you have to be careful about stalling stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Just gonna put up this just in case. Is there an image of a cannon? I'll just use big shot cannon, to be honest. This is where the cannons are. You mostly use the back one. You only use the front ones whenever you have any bosses like in the front. And if you have a static on your corresponding side, you target that as well. But mostly to help with this because basket's in the way for the back cannon, and I think sometimes it's out of range. That's pretty much the gist of it. If you have any lurables, lids, steelheads, and you're over here, get off the cannon, let them come in, then you can kill them there. You use this one instead to help support the back cannon. Same deal with the right. If there's right lurables, get off the right cannon. Maybe instead use the left if a second cannon is needed. But it's mostly gonna be the back cannon that you're gonna be using. What is the program you use to picture waves? It's Gunji's website. Kuro linked it. It's a nice handy site to practice any diagrams. There's also a 3D one. He has a 3D one to help with steelhead aggro. That one's a bit more demanding for your computer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All that's left about extra work really is knowing the actual spawns and stuff. The theory crafting with that. But if there's anything you want to practice, I do recommend practicing High Tide Griller this week. That way you can be ready for the shenanigans you'll see in freelance or in pickups or with any group you schedule with. Oh yeah, for sure. And I definitely hope that this leads to more people trying to push High Tide Grillers because I just don't see a reference anywhere. Like if you were to watch any of the JP streamers, YouTubers, and their highlight videos, I rarely see them include waves like Grillers and Rush because obviously they're not as good as Mud Mounts, they're not as good as Day Waves, they're not as good as Seeking sometimes, they're not as good as... What other wave? Fog. Yeah, Fog. But yeah, well, that'll be it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know now. Otherwise, feel free to message me in the coach mailbox and office section or DMing me. If I have time, I may try to set up another coaching session for High Tide Grillers this week, but I have to see about that. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. This type of stuff is sometimes hard because I'm not the best speaker in the world, and I'm definitely not what's the word, clear. Like I can be a little confusing, so I always appreciate any feedback you guys may have, or as well as just having the patience with me because it can be hard. It can be hard to put things into words. Yeah, thanks. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. As I mentioned, you guys are free to check me out in DMs or the coaching mailbox in office. And yeah, have a nice rest of your day. Bye-bye. There we go. And there we go. I need to figure out Note to self, I need to figure out how to share my video, my browser and what I do on there.